Hello, good evening and welcome to Business Live. Coming up in this bulletin, Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Ghana reduces policy rate by 350 basis points to 21.5%.
We are confident, barring any new shocks, that end-year inflation will certainly fall within the target band.
We'll be live at the Bank of Ghana for more details. Also in this bulletin, Triton Motors unveils a new range of jack light to heavy-duty commercial vehicles.
Have something for everybody. We have something for the distribution companies in Accra and in the other cities. We have vehicles for special use.
Last today on the Joy Business Van, we'll tell you how Legacy Crop Improvement Center is helping farmers reduce post-harvest losses with innovative storage and handling solutions. We have details of this and more coming your way all in a moment. Please stay on. Thanks so much for your time. I am Pius Kojobaka. I want to begin business from the Central Bank because the Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Ghana has reduced the policy rate by 350 basis points to 21.5%. Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Esiema, speaking at the 126th MPC meeting, explained that the committee is forecasting inflation to fall by the end of the fourth quarter.
True. You know, the framework we have is what we call a managed floating regime. We don't have a peg. We don't have a fixed exchange rate framework. It's a managed floating regime where you allow flexibility of the exchange rate. One of the advantages there is that it helps when it comes to adjustment to shocks, for the economy to adjust to certain shocks without necessarily losing reserves to try to contain it. The managed floating framework is still in place, and that is what we are using. It doesn't change at all. And so, yes, the cedi will fluctuate. It will change by the minute. It will change by the moment. And it changes, you know, in reaction to a number of variables. It may be short-term, it may be medium-term, it may be long-term. Several variables drive movements in the cedi. We've always said it, that our objective is to ensure we don't have excessive volatility in the cedi. But yes, you will see movement in the cedi, all right, just that we don't want to see it excessively. So yes, the president put it right, that the cedi will find its true value. The end-year inflation target, yes, we are confident, barring any new shocks, that end-year inflation will certainly fall within the target band. Whether we are revising the end-year target, no, that decision hasn't been taken as yet. What is important is that we achieve that medium-term, target, and then we are able to stay within that target. So we haven't revised the end-year figure for inflation.
And we want to understand the reasons given by the Bank of Ghana for that drop. My colleague George Yafi attended the 126th MPC meeting. Joins us via Zoom for more. George, thank you so much for making time to speak to us here on Business Live. And like I said, what more reasons did the governor give for the drop?
So, Pius, you would know that basically the governor or the Monetary Policy Committee will look at what they will classify as inflation or inflation targeted. And basically, the governor's argument is that they have looked at the inflation outlook they don't think that there's much threats. They also think that in terms of the inflows, the outlook looks quite good. The economy is quite strong, and therefore those risks are quite moderate now. Therefore, the right thing to do is to lower the rate and try to stimulate growth. And that is why the governor of the Bank of Ghana actually cut the rate by this 3.5% or 350 basis points to this new level of 21.5%.
That's fine. And I know he's been speaking about the debt situation. What has he got to say about it?
Well, the debt situation, he spoke about the fact that things are improving. Government is meeting its obligations to these bondholders. So, again, in terms of the outlook, things are not that bad.
And George, you asked the question about the recent depreciation of the cedi. What has he been telling you?
Well, basically, what he had to say was that these were due to, again, he made the same argument about seasonalities, if I could use that expression. He sees these things as still a normal blip, and therefore there is no need for anyone to panic. And that is the assurance he gave. If you talk about the reserves as well, his argument was that these were some payments that they made, and he still insists that they are in a strong position to support the Ghana cedi.
Another issue that came up at the meeting, the governor, however, warned that a possible upward review of tariffs could exert some price pressures in the medium term, which could impact the inflation rate. Tell us more.
Well, even though the governor sees that as a threat, he thinks that they are in a strong position to still manage that threat. And that is why Piles, the rate was cut by that huge margin. So he still insists that there is no cause for concern, even though that is seen as a threat, or let's say as a concern, Piles.
George Yafi, thank you so much for that update. We shall come to you for more on this. But we want to stay a while longer at the central bank because Ghana's total public debt has inched up once again, reaching a new high. According to latest data from the Bank of Ghana, the country's debt stock now stands at 629 billion cedis. More in this report.
Showed the new debt levels represented 44.9% of the country's gross domestic product. A careful analysis on the data showed the debt stock in cedi terms had been rising from May this year. However, if you compare it to the same period last year, there has been some significant drop. But when you assess Ghana's debt stock in dollar terms, the amount has been the same since May, hovering around $59 billion. The country's total debt as a percentage of GDP is currently around 44.9%, but the IMF is projecting we may end the year at around 60%. So one is not sure for now whether the debt numbers could be going up.
And we know total export earnings continue to climb, hitting record highs this year. According to data from the Bank of Ghana, total export revenue reached $17 billion as of end of August, marking one of the highest levels recorded in recent years. More in this Business Desk report.
The $17 billion that the country realized ending August this year represents a significant increase compared to the about $12 billion in the same period for last year. Gold was the biggest contributor as it brought in $11.7 billion. Our earnings from cocoa for the first 8 months of this year stood at $2.4 billion. However, what we got from oil exports was not that good, as decline in production from the country's oil fields has impacted this amount. On the other hand, we spent $11.7 billion to finance the country's import needs, representing a marginal jump from the same period last year. This resulted in a trade surplus of more than $6 billion, a development that could go a long way to strengthen our reserves and help defend the local currency, as well as our external position.
That has to do with the economy as part of measures to provide robust light and heavy-duty vehicles to meet the need of businesses. Triton Motors, authorized dealers of Jack Vehicles brands, have unveiled the new range of light and heavy-duty commercial Jack vehicles. Now, speaking at a media soiree to outdoor the vehicles, The chief executive of Jack Motors revealed that the company is willing to offer flexible purchasing agreements with companies and individuals who visit their showroom. More in this report.
The newly unveiled vehicles include light, medium and heavy-duty commercial models. Triton Motors, the authorized dealer of Jack vehicles in Ghana, says the new range is robust and suitable for all inland and hinterland operations. At the unveiling ceremony, GHs629, CEO of Triton Motors, revealed that the vehicles are well suited for all types of businesses.
We have something for everybody. We have something for the distribution companies in Accra and in the other cities. We have vehicles for special use, and obviously behind you or in front of you, you'll see the heavy commercial stuff. So these are for construction and mining operations. So essentially we are catering to everybody in town. And as I said earlier, we do have the specialized vehicles. Okay, so there are vehicles that inculcates crane system on it, water tankers, hydrants, fuel tankers, ambulances, anything and everything. It can be done on a Jack chassis.
He also highlighted the company's flexible payment structure as a key differentiator from competitors.
Our group has been known to be very flexible with payments and facilities to all our customers. The only thing we require is that you qualify for what we offer you. So if you need something that costs so much and your books can cater to it, or a bank can help us to give you a loan, we will look for it. So we are open to giving facilities and soft loans and payment plans to anybody and everybody who is capable of taking care of their obligation.
As part of efforts to expand the reach of Jack vehicles, Triton Motors plans to open additional outlets across the country to enhance accessibility.
So our next step will be to expand our physical network into the main cities of Ghana, and then expand it further to the hinterlands where usually our heavy commercial vehicles will be located.
Located at Atiko Junction off the Kanisio-Doko Highway, Triton Motors also offers pickups and a full range of SUVs. In the near future, the company plans to introduce buses as part of its fleet. Management also announced plans to explore the introduction of sustainable vehicles ranging from light to heavy-duty models, cementing Triton Motors' position as one of the leading vehicle dealerships in the country.
Let's now pause for a breather. I'll be right back with the Joy Business Van. Hello, welcome back to Business Live. In a country where post-harvest losses continue to impact food security and farmer incomes, one agribusiness is changing the story. Today on the Joy Business Van, we spotlight Legacy Crop Improvement Center's innovative handling and storage solutions, helping farmers to protect grain quality, reduce waste, and boost profits along after post-harvest. Now, founder and CEO Amos Rutherford Azinu takes us on a tour.
In farming, timing is everything, especially after the harvest. For too long, farmers watched their hard-earned grain spoil or get lost in the chaos of poor handling. But the change is taking root. After revolutionizing threshing with a machine that cuts labor and boosts efficiency, Legacy Crop Improvement Center is now turning its focus to what comes next, preserving the grain, protecting farmer profits, and pushing the post-harvest conversation forward. Last episode, we heard how Legacy Crop Improvement Center has rolled out a multi-crop thresher to boost post-harvest efficiency, cutting down labor, reducing grain loss, and saving farmers valuable time. But threshing is just the beginning. Once the grain is separated, the next big challenge is keeping it safe from pests, moisture, and spoilage. Amos Rutherford Azunu is founder and CEO of Legacy Crop Improvement Center.
Yeah, so from the threshing, you see that the thresher is able to remove the husk and the cob out of it, and we get the kernel. But the kernel came with some foreign materials. At the same time, the moisture level is high. So assuming the farmer want to store this thing, it's impossible for the farmers to store for a long time because it's going to get mold in the packaging material. So the essence of this machine, as we call it, the dryer, is to be able to remove the higher amount of the moisture from this maize to keep it at a acceptable level that we can store it for a longer period of time. So this is the gas dryer. It takes 4,000 kilo per load. We are looking at the moisture level at around 12%, so that we can now remove it from it. So we are going to use two energy, that's the gas and the ECG. The gas is the one we are using to set the fire under it. Then the ECG is actually powering the fan that blows the hot air under it over time. Then between 4 to 6 hours, we should be able to get to the right moisture level that we are looking for longer storage.
Next is grading, which determines the value of a harvest. It's how farmers produce grain that meets market standards and earns higher prices.
From here, you can see there are other foreign materials in it, and the maize is not even distributed. There are bigger one, the bulky one. So from here, we are sending it to the cleaner, which is going to remove all these foreign materials from it and put the maize in classes. The big one, the medium, the broken, and the chaff, everything. From there, we can do the bagging, the weighing and the bagging. Then when the farmer wants to store it, then we can store it for the warehouse. Around the thresher, you see there's an open space there. If it's a grain for consumption, you keep it for there, give you the agreement letter. When you are ready, you bring your agreement letter, then you come and take your maize.
It just doesn't end there.
If you, at the end of the day, you say, oh, connect me to the market. Maybe you, for instance, you have 1,000 bags on this year. You are in Accra. You don't want to be looking for market women. That's our job. We'll go and look for the women and who want to pay the price you want. Once you get the money, then you give us 3% of that cost for commission. So that's the work we are going to do for you.
So how efficient is this system?
If we are in the northern part of Ghana, where we are doing the harvesting at the time of November, December, naturally God will dry it for you because the harmattan have set in. But if you happen to find yourself in this our jurisdiction, then you don't have option. We have to dry it, especially when we do the major season production. This is very efficient because, as I said, we are losing 30% of our produce to post-harvest. And if you don't do that, right, you keep this maize, the amount of moisture in it, in the next 2 weeks it gets mold. When it gets mold too, and you consume it, it leads to cancer and as a result of aflatoxin that the maize has in it. So this is very efficient because, but it's also a little bit cost to the farmer now because the farmer has to pay for the service, which is 50 pesos per kilo that we are charging for drying. But if the farmer is drying per the sun, it's free. God giving energy. The farmer doesn't need to pay. But this is also going to help you to preserve your goods. As I said, agriculture is a business. It's no more hobby.
For Amos and his team at Legacy Crop Improvement Center, the mission is clear: to give farmers control over the entire post-harvest process from field to market.
This is going to help a lot of farmers to store their grains for a long time and actually have a good market value. You know, during the harvesting, everybody is harvesting. So there are a lot of goods in the market space competing for the same customers. So some should be able to store theirs for lean season, which actually call for higher price when they are selling. But without this process, it is very difficult for a farmer to do that. With this, as I said, between 4 to 6 hours, this will be dry, properly dry. But assuming you are drying under the sun, and the sun is not coming where as expected, it can take you a number of days, and you are not guaranteed of the quality. Some of them may get molding and all those things. So if you look at where we come from, the threshing process, if you are using human beings to do that kind of work, maybe let's say 10 bags in a day, it would be very difficult for a lot of people to do. But the machine can do, and the machine doesn't get sick. Like, you know, issue with labor these days, when you're talking to people, oh, I have a funeral, I have engagement here, there, good. But you avoid all those things by mechanizing the process.
For From threshing to grading, farmers are now better equipped to protect the value of their harvest and take charge of their incomes. With support from Legacy Crop Improvement Center, what was once a vulnerable stage in the farming cycle is becoming a season of opportunity.
Labour, Jobs and Employment Minister Dr. Rashid Pelpo says government is prepared to work closely with the Ghana Employers Association to address employment challenges and create more jobs. He disclosed this in an interview with Joy Business at the Association's 65th Annual General Meeting.
Speaking to Joy Business on the sidelines of the Association's 65th Annual General Meeting in Accra, Dr. Pelpo stressed that collaboration with the private sector is key to expanding decent and sustainable employment.
I have talked about government's commitment to making sure the private sector is revamped and supported. The President has taken the lead to have a meeting with them. The President has told me they are putting together a presentation that they will bring to suggest to government what to do to help them, especially in the 24-hour economy, to create value for them to be able to employ more people and be able to expand. And that's critical for us because we want to see a push by the private sector into the larger sector of the economy so as to create more situations of employment and also increase their value into the economy.
At the same event, the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Employers Association, Alex Frimpong, urged government to ensure stability of the Ghana cedi, protect businesses and sustain growth.
Well, I think the economy is not out of the doldrums yet. We all were happy when we saw that the forex was getting to appreciable levels. But overnight, it is still going up, and members are getting worried because you need to ensure stability so that you can predict, forecast, and ensure stability in what you do. So we are hoping that there will be stability. This issue of having to contend with a pendulum-like of forex environment becomes very difficult. So we are hoping that if we are able to work together to put structures in place and stabilize the forex and also the general macroeconomic environment, I think businesses will heave a huge sigh of relief.
The 65th Annual General Meeting brought together captains of industry, policymakers, and labor experts to deliberate on strategies to strengthen the business environment and drive inclusive growth.
Let's now go to myjoyonline.com/business for some quick read on that portal. Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Ghana cut policy rate to 21.5%. Also on that portal, you see Ghana's total export earnings hit $17 billion by August 2025. Also, producer price inflation for August 2025 declines to 3%. And we have more stories for you when you log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Always a delight serving you. I am Pius Kojo Baka. Let's